Hey everyone! So who is tired of hearing the phrase, show, don't tell? Well, as much as you may hate hearing it, because trust me, I have at this point in my college career, it is also very useful. But it's important to know how to actually implement that phrase. I'm going to talk about ways that you can focus on showing rather than telling. And it's all about the details and how descriptive you get. So let's start with emotions. I highly suggest in your writing not to talk about emotions directly. Don't say sadly, or rather than saying something like, I am confused, say something more like, I knit my forehead into wrinkles and cock my head to the side. See, that's more descriptive. It shows the confusion on the face without ever having to say the word confused. And it just provides better description, and it's not so corny, because after a while you keep reading about how this person's sad, this person's mad. It gets very corny. So what you can do is ask yourself these questions. You can ask yourself, what does a person look like when they're showing this emotion? What do they act like? What do they talk like? Maybe their voice squeaks when they're excited. Focus on things like that. Alright, so also there is the problem with abstract terms like love and hope. You want to avoid those two because people like to be in the moment and they like to have concrete details, and you can't really get very concrete with those words. I mean, of course, if someone's saying I love you and it's your dialogue, that's no big deal. But in general, try to avoid them as much as possible using those type of words. Instead, ask yourself, what does a person look like when they're in love? You know, what do they act like? You can use a metaphor or a simile. You know, let's say someone is in love with the person and that person doesn't want to be with them. Rather than saying she is in love with him but he doesn't want to be with her, say something more like, without him, she feels like a flower trying to survive without the existence of bees. You know, something along those lines. You also want to try and stray away from nondescript words, things like flower or tree or car even. You know, you can get more detail. You can either name it and give it a specific flower name, or what's even better is actually going ahead and just describing the flower itself. Describe what the petals look like, you know, describe where they grow. Maybe they grow in sunlight, or they grow in shade, or do they grow on bushes? I mean, roses grow on bushes. You know, you can look up a picture of it and try and describe it that way. You can look up details like where it grows, what season it grows in, things like that. Research is seriously your best friend. I want to read you this quote from Writing Down the Bones by Natalie Goldberg. I think this quote summarizes perfectly what I'm trying to say. When we know the name of something, it brings us closer to the ground. It takes the blur out of our mind. It connects us to the earth. So basically it's just saying the reader wants to be grounded. They want to be able to see what the characters are seeing and experience it fully. And when you put a name to something, or even just put a more concrete description to something like flower, it really brings the reader in. Alright, so that's basically it for this video. I do want to mention to all my writers out there, or even readers, there is this site that started a couple months ago through the Wick Poetry Center that I think is amazing and I think you guys should check out. It's called travelingstanzas.com, which I will put below for those that are interested in doing it. But basically it's this website where you submit a video of you reading a particular poem that means a lot to you. It could be one of your own, it could be one that you've read. It just depends on what you want, but seriously, it's awesome and I really suggest you guys check it out. Or if you don't want to submit a video, go ahead and check it out and just see what people have submitted. I mean, these are people from all around the world that can submit, and there are people that read in different languages. I highly suggest you guys go ahead and check it out. Also, I just want to let you guys know I'm doing this new Prompt Tuesday series where I give you a prompt to write on every Tuesday. You can write anything between fiction, poetry, creative nonfiction, whatever you feel like. It's just to kind of get your ideas flowing and on the page if you're stuck. But other than that, that's all the announcements I have. So I guess I will see you next time. Bye!